weekend, and to my left we have family and close friends of a man who was one of the finest oval races this sport has ever seen, the late Bill Batten. He didn't get the nickname the Master for nothing, and he started racing in 1970, number 651 back then, but he soon rose to the very top of the sport, and it wasn't long before world title number one came his way. And in many ways he was mirroring what the late Stuart Smith was doing in Formula Ones. They set a standard week in, week out. Stuart in the Formula Ones and Bill in the Formula Twos, the man to beat. Week in, week out, championship win after championship win, and one was named the Maestro and one was named the Master for a reason, because they were that good at what they did. And you can imagine the reunion up there, the two of them looking down, very, very proud. And yeah, the reunion up there between those two was something very, very special. Of course, back in the early 80s was my first memory of Bill, right here at Skegness. 1981, he was world champion then with a certain Len Wolfenden, the world champion in Formula One Stockcars. And now the match race here at Skegness, they started on each side of the circuit, and it wasn't long before Bill, in his super fast car, caught up Len, and he was shoving this BriSCA Formula One stock car into the corners, much to the delight of the crowd. What a showman. He knew exactly how to put on a show, and those memories I'll remember forever. I was only 7 years old at the time. Not long after he'd won 3 world titles, Bill drifted away from Formula 2s for a while. He had to go into Formula 1 and a national hot rod, etc. But in 1989, he came back. This time he was 167. We can see our tribute on the fence. So he was 167 then, and he came back, and soon back up there amongst the front runners. British Championships, European Championships, Irish Masters, they came Bill's way, because form is temporary, class is permanent, as they say, and Bill was a prime example of that. But there was a new challenge. Obviously some of the old guard was still here, but there was a new challenge. Some young whippersnapper from Manchester who had gone up to the top of the sport, and he made world final wins a habit, and Bill was adamant he wanted another world championship. And the 1 year that the young lad from Manchester, Rob Speak, didn't finish the world final in the 90s, Bill came up with a battle that I'll remember forever with our local man here to Skegness, Ian King at Crewe. What a world final race that was. And Bill certainly ran Ian very, very close, and Ian claimed that world title, but Bill kept going and going and going. And finally, 2004, that world championship win came once again for the 4th time on his 57th birthday, up there in the northeast of Barford, and he beat Paul Broach in his own backyard. What a battle it was. He came back here to Skegness the following year with that very car and won the UK Championship. Totally dominated that weekend, and the Master, he was back. But once he lost that gold roof, the appearances wasn't quite as many as he used to be, not travelling wise, and 2013, that was when he had his testimonial meeting, and he hung up his helmet and perhaps took a back step from the sport. But in recent times, with the new generation, many of them there, family, close friends coming through, Bill was there supporting them, and he was here at the World Final last year. Our guest of honour, not officially, but he was our guest of honour. And he came out here, stood here with the world champions of years gone by, laughing and joking with them, and was so delighted that Bill came here for that. And he was all set to come this year, but sadly it wasn't to be. But we'll never forget Bill, the wonderful memories we all have. 4 times a world champion, and he was called the Master for a reason. And we're going to have a minute's applause to celebrate what Bill was as a person. We loved him dearly, a great sportsman, and salute him as a stock car driver for what he achieved in the sport. Now, we could just all stand there and applause. We don't just want to do that. We need to add some trimmings to that. So we're also going to have Bill's favourite song that says it all, really. And I talked about that car that I saw when I was a 7-year-old here at Skegness. It's here, driven by his rival and his dear friend, Rob Speak. Let's bring it on. The 1982 World Final winning car. As he comes around, and we salute and we remember the wonderful Bill Batten. Skegness, let's hear it for Rob speaking his tribute to his dear friend, his rival, the master, the late Bill Batten. I thought I'd test the water. Are we good, Rob? Rob, we've got to let you have a word. Well, one of the
Can we get on?
moments I'm never ever going to forget in all the years I've been involved with this sport. He was a rival, but he was a dear friend, wasn't he?
Me and him got stuck in one castle on the track, but so much mistakes off the track. Never once had a cross away, and we knocked out over each other on the track. And he was a gentleman who meant a lot to me. Steered me through things, talked me to me financially and stuff, and he's been a good friend.
And an honour to go round the track in that car. We'd like to thank the gentleman whose name escapes me, but for bringing the car. What an honour.
Yeah, Mr. Taylor brought the car, and it's unbelievable, isn't it, to drive that car around here, and just know we've done him a bit proud, that's all.
I think we certainly have. Let's give him a round of applause. That's not been easy for Rob.